Welcome to Book Talks. My name is Mrs. B, and this is a very special broadcast. Do you want to know why it's so special? Because today we are here at Gibela. Gibela is a manufacturing company that manufactures trains from scratch. So stay tuned.
Welcome to Book Talks, the show that speaks to education, health, entrepreneurship, and so much more.
Thank you so much, Mr. Junior, for having us. Today we're very honored to be at Gibela. So tell us, what is it that you do here in Gibela?
Thank you, Rosani. First of all, my name is Junior Lechaba. I am the acting rolling stock executive.
Okay. So what does your day-to-day work look like?
So Gibela is a rail manufacturing company comprising of two partners, namely Alstom and Bumbano Rail.
Okay.
We are contracted to PRASA to deliver 600 trains and also provide maintenance support services for a period of 19 years. So where we are currently located, in Donata, Ekurhuleni, this is our manufacturing site where we manufacture trains from scratch.
Okay, so this is the only site that you have?
Yes, in terms of manufacturing,
yes.
This is the only site we have, and also the only site in Africa that manufactures passenger trains. Then we have, in terms of services, depots where we operate from in Gauteng, both Gauteng South and Gauteng North. We also have depots in KZN as well as Western Cape.
Okay. So tell me, what makes Gibela a unique manufacturing company?
I think what makes us unique is the fact that we're the only manufacturer of trains in the whole Africa. But even more, so we are the best in terms of manufacturing of trains within the Alstom group. So we have various manufacturing sites within Alstom group, and currently we are the fastest passenger train manufacturer.
Oh, so tell me, what is this relationship between Gibela and Alstom?
So the relationship, it's simply that it is a partnership from an original equipment manufacturing, which is Alstom, and a chosen local partner called Bumbano Rail. And that's the relationship in terms of ensuring that we do deliver the contract of the 600 trains to PRASA.
Okay, so tell me, how is Gibela taking technology in terms of looking at the fact that we are in the AI era? So how do you integrate technology in terms of you manufacturing the whole train? So one thing that I've picked up is that you manufacture trains from scratch until the end product. So how are you able to do that?
So we have about just less than 2% automation, simply because one of the criteria or target in terms of this project is to create employment.
Okay.
So we emphasize on relying on our employees, and we focus on skills development. We have employees that arrived here with matric and have been developed, and some of them are artisans, some of them have even become senior artisans with leadership skills, because once you are a senior artisan, you have people reporting to you. So this is a true example of how we have devoted in the development of our employees. Hence, we have an automation percentage of less than 2%. The other thing, what makes us also unique, the software that is used to run the train and also manage the trains that are running in services is developed right here in Donata site and controlled here in Donata site by our young engineers that we have employed.
So you're speaking about young engineers. Where do you find them? How do you recruit them to be part of the system?
So we do not entirely employ people outside with experience. We have committed to transformation. So there are cases where we employ people straight from the university. Then we put them through our incubator program in terms of ensuring that they are qualified and competent to manage the systems that we have on our train. So we do not necessarily focus on acquiring skills that already exist in the industry, but our main focus is to create more skills in the industry. I think to date we have qualified roughly around 340 higher education graduates, and this shows you the commitment that we have towards empowering our youth.
So, Mr. Junior, we did a walkabout, right? And something that we've picked up is that you've got a lot of young women working within the Gibela industry. Tell me, why is that? What is the main reason behind the employment of young women?
So, similar to the commitment of transformation in relation to ensuring that we have local content, we also have a commitment to employ 50% women in the organization. Currently, just below 50%, I think it's roughly around 45% are black women in the organization. So we are working hard to ensure that we meet the 50% target.
So somebody at home might be asking, especially men, might be asking themselves, why women? Why not us? Because we also want the jobs. What is the reason behind just saying that we want 50% of women?
So, I think a lot of times when we talk about manufacturing, there is a stigma or a perception that manufacturing is an industry dominated by males, and we want to show case that it is possible to employ females within manufacturing environment. You can imagine about just over 70% of the work that takes place in the manufacturing factory is welding and boiler making. So we encourage young females to go and study in those fields because there are opportunities to be employed, and we do not differentiate in our organization in terms of which particular stations are women or males allowed to work. For us, it is important that we get you qualified. Once you are qualified, we ensure that you are competent to be able to ensure that we deliver good quality trains.
Okay, thank you so much. So what does the future look like for Gibela? Where are we going?
So I think what is important with the current contract is to ensure that we deliver on the 600 trains that currently we have manufactured up to date 275. So we still have a long way to go in terms of ensuring that we can deliver the 600 trains, and that's what we're currently focusing on. And then there are other subcommittee teams that are working on the future of Gibela beyond 600 trains. So there is definitely work that is being done to ensure that we remain in the business.
In rounding off the 30 years of freedom, what is the message that you tell South Africans to celebrate 30 years of freedom as Gibela?
To South Africans, in closing of the celebration of the 30 years of freedom, we are proud as Gibela, being the top manufacturer of trains in Africa. We are not just an assembler, we manufacture from scratch, and this shows that it is possible to do it. One of the key achievements is the fact that we employ women up to 45%. Our average age in terms of the total headcount that we have, it's about 45%. We employ just over 1,200 employees, and just over 3% of that are people living with disability. Also, in terms of our local commitment for local content, we have about 145 tons of steel that is produced from our local suppliers, which shows that we are committed to ensure that we transform the local economy. 58% of our trains, in terms of value, it's spent on local suppliers. And also, more importantly, is the people that are driving the success behind the manufacturing of our trains. We spent more than 800 million rands in the past 10 years towards skills development. More than 11,000 people have been trained in terms of rail-related skills. As I indicated, we have more than 125 apprenticeship been awarded, specifically focusing also around Ekurhuleni area. So for us, this is a success that with the right mindset, with the right attitude, and also with the drive and the zeal to carry on the transformation journey, that it is possible. So we urge all South Africans to take pride in what we have achieved today. Thank you.
A proudly South African company, Gibela, that manufactures trains from scratch. Muzanzi, ngozi yakonadzeka. Ni musapo, na musiro guda zwinji nga manda. Nisongo ba muthu osalela, nisongo ba muthu odzula fasi. Ari Gibele.